Hey guys, this is Joe from what the fuck? This is Joe from Cincinnati. I'm gonna keep that. This is Joe from Cincinnati, and I got here Dan K, or I guess now you're like more Action Johnny than Dan K, aren't you?
The Action Johnny persona is slowly like eating the Dan K persona.
It's
A bit like
it's
Venom and Eddie Brock, almost.
it's taking over. In Game of Thrones you were Daye Kaniel mostly,
Yeah,
Dan
yeah.
K kind of, and then nobody really knew Action Johnny. They were just like that's just that asshole in Octagon. Uh,
But
but
now he's gone out. He's
now
gone
he's
out of Octagon.
He's he's joined Discord, and that's what he goes by, and that's what he talks to people as. So
Like
now
Lawnmower Man.
the L5R community doesn't actually know Dan K. They know Action Johnny.
That's how I
So
like it, to be honest with you, Joe.
yeah, why is that?
Yeah, I like that. It's just quite funny, everyone calling you Johnny when it's like
Yeah, people
not
calling you
that.
Johnny, and it's just like you would stream with Kingsley, and he's like, and I got Johnny with me. And you're like, hey, it's like that's fucking Dan. That's not Johnny. Fucking Dan.
Oh,
So
day. Cool, whatever makes you happy, Joe. Yeah.
okay, Johnny. Danny boy. So anyway, this deck list is what I'm running in this video that I'm about to show you. By the way, we were so distracted. This is a game against Unicorn. We have Unicorn is a new clan that just joined the game as of the second cycle. Uh, and they're really interesting. They're kind of like Lion, but in a different way.
Got like horses and
Yeah,
stuff.
they got like horses and shit. It's pretty cool. I'm glad they added the new focus to the game. It's a little bit just a lot of scorpions and dragons. So adding this new clan has been really helpful to get people to play different things, and you see a lot of unicorns on Shigoku. It's really cool, which is never what you used to see.
Oh,
So
because they were mythical, you
yeah,
know.
they were not actually real. It's like we just discovered them. You're like, wait, this is a horse with a horn painted on his head. Like, oh my god. Now it's
I,
actually a unicorn. So
I get it now. I get
so the
it.
the deck that I'm running is unremarkable. Like very very typical crab. People even say like I don't even change my deck. Like crab chat on Discord. They still take my opinion seriously, I think, but they're very much like you never test anything. And it's just like, well, nothing, nothing that's come out makes me want to test anything. There's not been any cards for Crab this cycle that actually made me go like, oh, I want to build a new deck. That's not the deck I'm running right now. I mean, you can do like for fun, but anyway, tangent upon tangent upon tangent. Nothing's really changed. You can see here, I have one Nezumi, one Kuni Lab, three Kudaka. That's basically all I have from the second cycle in here.
I see you've gone for a very adventurous one copy of Gaijin Customs there.
Yeah, one Gaijin custom. So I honestly I'm currently running.
Smashing through the frontier of deck building.
I'm currently running three Wayfinders, and running the third fan. But I could go back to this formation at any time. Wayfinders is just really good for.
You got to take things slow, Joe. You can't shake up the meta that wildly all at once. People aren't ready for it.
I know, I know. So anyway, just wanted to quickly show that because may as well. There's nothing really exciting about it. Nothing really new. So now, stop that. Stop it. Stop with the highlights. What's wrong with this thing? Maybe the highlights aren't even showing up on the video. I honestly can't tell. But anyway, so this is the game. It's against fan favorite. I've since learned, I didn't know at the time of this game, but I've since learned that is the Unicorn Hatamoto from Atlanta.
Oh,
So,
cool.
so he's a legit player, and he's playing Unicorn. He's been playing Unicorns, even though they weren't a clan before the second cycle.
That's
He
not even
still
possible.
he still found a way. I know it's weird, but anyway. Oh, and for context, the reason I had Johnny on here is because he's been playing a lot of Unicorn right lately, and
Hello.
like fucking like insane amounts of Unicorn. Or to the point where it's like I think he's a Unicorn player now. Like I'm not sure, but I think he's a Unicorn player now. And you're gonna actually make videos for Unicorn eventually, right? Like when are you doing
I've
that?
actually I've got one ready. It's just I can't publish it because the last game in my current Discord pod is also a unicorn player, and I don't want him to have a very in-depth analysis of my deck and tactics right before I play him.
It's so tacky.
I mean, like, I'm really releasing it before the cup, so whatever. But it just feels a bit like it just feels a bit unnecessary to just drop that.
See, that's the nice thing about playing Crab is that there's
Yeah,
no secrets because it has not changed in like 6 months. Like it literally has not changed since December.
it's four literally is not changed. It's that literally not changed.
Well,
That's amazing.
except for like 4 cards.
It's like that drawing or that diagram of like the crab with the arrow going background into the crab. Like, the way of the crab is that there is only crab. It's
I
just
know.
one step, and it's always eternally crab.
Cycle of Crab. Step
That
one, Crab. There is no
feels
second step.
right.
So yeah, it's really nice to be playing Crab right now because we're getting no cards that are actually useful. We did get some useful cards. They fucking didn't let us use them though because they're attached to water.
Whoa, hold on. I'm gonna contest that. The Rat and Kuni Lab are both really good cards. They're really good cards.
They're f-
I'm super happy to see both of those
I
cards.
want to look in your eyes.
Look in
They're
my eyes.
they're
The
fine.
Rat. They're
They're
good. They're
they're
good
fine.
cards. They're good cards,
They're
man. They're good
fine.
cards.
They're
Mate, I guarantee there's going to be a point in the game where Labs is just broken. Like when Crab can do the whole unicorn thing of big boards are the best, go wide all the time. Uh, that card's going to be like next levels of broken. I guarantee you that's a sleeper. That Kuni Lab. Watch out for it. It's a sleeper. It's good currently. It's going to be fucking amazing one day.
they're fine. So
This commercial broadcast is brought to you by the Kuni family.
so anyway, let's get this game started. So
And it
unicorn.
rolling deep, yo. Let's
It's
do it.
unicorn. It's a new, and you're seeing this, right?
I'm seeing it. I
Uh,
even saw the little, good luck, have fun from your opponent. That's nice of him, isn't it? Didn't have to do that.
Oh, he's a polite, nice guy. So I start with a keeper initiate, Satoshi, a Borderlands defender, and Shuichi. I was looking for a little bit of a smaller start. Um, I did not want. I kept Satoshi because Karate District just wins this matchup,
Yeah, fair.
and I kept the keeper initiates because keeper initiates just win like every matchup.
Yeah,
Um,
I love having keepers turn one.
yeah,
Even
keepers.
like when you get the two keeper, two holding start, like it sucks turn one, but every other turn after that, you're like, yeah, I've got two keepers.
Yeah. So I'm starting out with a court games, a spyglass, a talisman, and a gaijin customs. So he's second player because that's fantastic. And he starts out with like the fucking most micro ass board ever. Two one costers, a two coster, and then a charge target.
You instantly bought Satoshi here when he's got Onsai. Was there not like a moment of like, oh, I suppose you've got Finger of Jade and Reprieve in your deck, but I mean, you don't have those on you right now. Are you not slightly wigged out by that?
So I'm first player, so I'm like I'm gonna be able to force through a political Earth conflict, so I'll have a keeper initiate. So absolute worst case scenario, I'll have a keeper initiate to sacrifice. But and I'm like assuming that I'm going to draw some conflict characters as well.
What if you'd like walked into Endless Plains,
Oh, I mean if that happens, then I can just GG wrap this shit up, right?
Well, I feel sheepish.
So I bid five as one does, and there's three conflict characters, so that's nice, and a reprieve. So I'm feeling pretty fine about this. I mean, he's obviously gonna break a province, maybe two provinces, because he's got fucking 6 military strength for 2 fate. Because 3 for 1 is just always a fair thing to give clans. Like I don't, people, like, God, I'm gonna pause this real quick.
Oh, it's ranting time. You came for the game. Stay for the rant.
I was talking to somebody on Reddit, and I don't really know who it was. I mean, just random people, and we were talking about the one costers in the game, and they were saying like unicorn. I said like unicorn just needs a good like 3 coster, a good 4 coster, and a good 5 coster, and they'll be there. This was before the second cycle.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was just like saying like their top of their curve is complete and utter trash. Their
Yeah.
low curve is pretty damn good. They got like border riders. They got the little infantry guy that's like, oh, I have 2 friends. I'm fucking a 2-2.
Yeah, the Moto Youth is pretty good.
And then the
The
Moto Youth is just a 3-0 for one. I mean, yeah, you.
Yeah, it's like it's not always. It's actually like getting him 3-0 consistently is actually well, it's just not as consistent as you might think. I'll say that. Like there's a lot of times where he's just a two, you know. But he's decent. He's no Bayushi Liar or Matsu Berserker, but
But
he's decent.
yeah, but this guy, he was complaining about Unicorn's low curve, and I was just like, Unicorn's low curve is fine. Like they're gonna do just fine once
Yeah.
they have a high curve, and I think that this cycle has kind of shown that. And a new stronghold. I mean, like the new stronghold was key because their old stronghold basically did nothing. Like it was probably one of the most worthless cards they'd ever printed in their entire lives. Um,
It's not. I don't know. Like that stronghold again will be like one of those cards that get better as the game goes on. But yeah, it's not amazing right now. It's pretty fucking dog shit right now. And the
yeah,
fucking the zero strength province stat is just like, come on, man.
I know.
Really? Did you have to make this zero? Is there
And
any reason for that?
and your new one's only +1, but it's still at least like +1.
At
That's
least
what
it's got a
Scorpion
number
and
on
Phoenix
it. It's not
have.
circles, you know? Fuck. Yeah, I mean, the new stronghold's fucking kick ass. I love that shit.
Yeah. So so yeah, I'm just gonna do what is this? Political Earth. And I wanted to go into Alton Sarnak because I was like, if I could break that shit and eliminate charge as a target, that'd be fantastic. Of course, Alton Sarnak just happens to be sitting on Shameful Display, which is disheartening. Which is disheartening. So,
Yeah, that's lame. And he's got the outrider there, so that's an
yeah.
instant four number swing.
So I was thinking like, okay, well, he'll win this, I guess. There's nothing I can really do about it. So fuck me, right? I thought the game was pretty much over right there. But I had a court game, so I played the court games, and it's 4-4, and he just like fucking, I think he just like lets me win this, which I'm not complaining. That's fantastic. I'm just surprised he didn't have anything at all.
A lot of unicorns aren't running court games. I think it's because you can everyone like you can play two or three captive audience, and the idea is just never do political.
Yeah.
And with Border Fortress and Rally as well, you can get another way of switching it.
Hmm.
So he might just not be on court games. So
Maybe.
yeah,
So yeah, I win. I discard an assassination. I get a keeper initiate. That's all good. The assassination is also good because it stops like Alton Sarnai assassinate keeper initiate, trigger bullshit like that. So then he plays a Wayfinder. I don't really know why. I guess just to not hit shameful. And we begin. We start the rolling. We start the ball rolling. So he's going into what I assume is defend the wall. Yeah, he's hitting defend the wall with water. So the options here, I was like, I could defend with a keeper initiate, but the keeper initiate's my only political left. Like, there's no other potential for political, and he has that political conflict. So I didn't want to use the keeper initiate right now. I have these skirmishers, so I figured
yep.
like I could like maybe defend with a skirmisher, and then they can be my sacrifice target, and then my keeper initiate I can use for political defense or whatever. So I think I just let this go unopposed. I don't even try and do anything with it.
There's no real point to defending this because you can't even stop the break with unless you want to play out two skirmishers and use your box, and even then, that's assuming he has like zero pumps. So
Yeah.
yeah, it seems really bad to defend here.
Yeah, and this is again just like, oh yeah, three zeros for one. This is fair. This is fun. I'm having a good time. So I just let him break it. Um, I don't really see a reason to try and stop him because then he just charged in Alton Sarnai and then gets it anyway. So he readies his 4-4 because of shameful display, which is irritating. Um, I briefly considered doing a military conflict, but I'm just like, I need my I need like every defender I can get on this round because he's going to be declaring three conflicts. Like, there's no way he's not going to defend three. He's not going to declare three conflicts. Um, and I can't really even punish him with an attack all that well. So
You don't have like a banzai or anything.
no. And then again, he's going to attack military with this little thing. And for a moment, I considered defending with him, but then I realized like he'll probably break this as well because he'll charge in Alton Sarnai. I need to defend because like he hit defend the wall, then he hit Manicure Gardens, right? So one of these two is Shameful Display, and I need a defender in order to
Yeah.
deflect the Shameful Display. Like I literally cannot defend with this Keeper Initiate because
No.
of that. So I just have to let it, just don't do it. Don't. Hey,
He's played this he's played this full throttle from the get go.
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, he's not putting any fate on his characters. He's definitely playing it for keeps, as the kids say. He's playing
think
for
like
keeps.
I think I would have just bought the two youth and just not bothered with the third guy, and just probably just poked. But he's going for it.
Yeah.
He's only bloody going for it, isn't he?
So, so the next decision I have to make is whether it goes home or in the conflict. In the conflict, the last thing I wanted to do was risk him doing like fucking what's it called, Fallen in Battle, and then Alton Sarnai to discard the Keeper Initiate. So I knew that I needed, if I was going to put him in the conflict, I knew I needed to stay within 5. And he's 6-0 right now. If I put the character in and then box, I'm at 2, so he's still breaking, but then uh, it's not a fallen in battle play.
It's interesting. You've played this really well because if he breaks 3 provinces this turn, then he can actually just take a turn off next turn and just hoard fate and draw cards and then just go in.
Yeah. So he gets it to break and then he passes. So I knew he didn't have fallen in battle, which is the only thing I was really worried about. I mean, honestly, so my philosophy when it comes to Unicorn and Lion now with this whole like 3 fucking conflicts in the first round shit, I honest to God do not care about province breaks. Like they don't matter at all because the amount of resources he's pumping into this turn to get these breaks is going to come back and haunt him. It's been like my experience with every Unicorn and Lion game that I've played is that they are super aggressive. They do this shit like zero fate, zero fate, zero fate, zero fate. They have 2 fate left over and 6 cards in hand. Meanwhile, I have 8 cards in hand, 2 fate, and like my board is sticking around. You know what I mean? Like it's just been my experience that
Okay,
breaks are
so
not important for Unicorn.
I feel like if you're playing HMT decks that way, you're playing them wrong. And I know that I'm a newcomer to the table here, and who gives a fuck what I think. But I actually feel like you should play like an HMT deck, kind of a bit like Scorpion. You just spend the first few turns buying ridiculously cheap guys, poking around, having a feel about, saving fate, saving cards, trying to like put pressure on, but as minimally as possible. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
maybe threaten a break here and there, and then just wait to a point in the game where you've gotten like a break, but you're set on a bunch of fate and cards, and then you just buy what you need to buy, save what you need to save, and just go for the 3 straight away for the win or the 2 or whatever it is.
yeah,
But I feel like going all out turn 1, like you said, it just sets you up to lose, man. Because you just run out of gas.
yeah. So it's like, in my opinion, like, and I even make a comment in this game, but in my experience, it's like the first turn in these games is like the first half of the game, and then you start the game in the second round. So uh, I check which one is my shameful display. This one right here, the face down, is shameful display.
It's going to go for the face up, right? Yeah, of course.
So I honestly, I,
Oh,
I
shit!
honestly like. So when he was doing that, I don't know if you caught it, but I was in chat. I was typing like, seriously gonna hit 3 provinces in the first round because I had no answer. If he did this, I had no answer. Like
Oh, yeah,
there's in
okay.
my hand, there's nothing I can do.
Oh, mate,
Uh,
he fucking reverse psychology
I,
himself out of
I
that one.
honestly I think he reverse psychology himself out because I think he saw that I put Satoshi there and he was like, oh, he put the character he cares about on shameful display, so I'll attack the other one. But really, all I was doing is I just was replacing a keeper initiate. Like when I Satoshi'd, I was like, well, I'm not gonna use this keeper initiate, so I'm just gonna drop Satoshi on top of keeper initiate. I had no, I was not gaming him at all when I did that.
big brain for days, guys. You heard it here. You heard it right here. Check how swole that brain is.
Ugh, it hurts. It hurts how big this brain is. So yeah, I just
Too
fucking
big
like,
for my small skull.
I fucking totally lucked into him. This is just my suspicion. Like I don't know for a fact that's what he was doing, but typically when you see people switching between provinces, it's because they're like questioning what I was
The nature
doing.
of their reality, yeah.
Yeah. So he initially was gonna hit meditations, which would have done nothing for me, but instead he chose to hit shameful display, which was
And I
perfect
think
for me because that basically saved the province. Because I already know for a fact that he doesn't have any political buffs. Because if he did, he would have fucking stopped that Earth conflict at the very beginning of the game.
yeah, yeah,
So
for sure.
so I already know he cannot get +2 more here. Like there's no way he can get +2 more. So I'm like, I'm good. I won. I'm gonna survive this round. so
And let's
uh,
just think if he had a single copy of Court Games, he could quite literally have just ruined your entire day, or at least made you play a reprieve on Satoshi.
yeah, it would have sucked. I said, all right, glad that's over. Now we can start the game. So yeah, two province breaks in round one, and in fact, um, Panos and Robert and a couple of our guys that we talk to a lot. One of their
Yeah.
biggest complaints about Unicorn is like, I just can't keep up. Like the game's getting too fast, right? Like that's one common thing that a lot of crabs, not just them, but a lot of crabs in like crab chat on Discord and everything like that, uh, say a lot is like the game's just getting too fast. Crab should adapt. Like crab can't play tall crab anymore. They have to adapt.
Right.
They have to play little guys in Kuni Labs. Like that's a lot of what I'm seeing is we need to play Kuni Labs. We need to play a bunch of small characters. We cannot afford to do the tower build right now because the game is getting too fast for us. On a certain degree, like I understand why they feel that way, but I just don't think it's true. Like if this is the big issue I have is like people are trying to build like weenie decks out of crab, and people are trying to build like straight aggro decks out of crab. And my big issue with that is like if you want to play aggro, go play Unicorn or Lion. If you want to play Weenie, go play Unicorn or Lion. Like that's not what Crab does. Crab has 12 saves. They have 12 saves in their fucking deck. That's what Crab is. And I know that some Crabs play Charge. That's fine. But like Crab's biggest strength, their defining characteristic is their saves. So you really should use them. And you should abuse them. You should abuse the shit out of your saves because that's the only thing Crab has going for it. Like Crab has understated characters. They have no interaction and conflicts. They have
The
no
worst.
bow.
You're
They
the
have
worst. You're the worst meme car salesman ever. This baby's got 12 saves in her. It's like disappointed L5R player standing off the side. It's like, but what about doing cool shit? No, no, no. There's none of that.
this baby's got 12 saves and no motor. So
12 saves, and it's made from solid rock.
so like obviously it's an exaggeration, but I like the idea I have is like if you want to play little shitters, play Unicorn or Lion. Like Crab is big fucks. That's their defining characteristic, and I'm going to play them until they stop working for me. And I think like people will lose two provinces on turn one, or even three provinces in 2 turns, and they're convinced that the game's getting too fast. I just want to remind people that provinces are resources. Your opponent is spending cards and they're spending characters to break those provinces. All you have to do is turn that around on them. That's the only thing you have to do.
I
So,
actually feel the same way out of Unicorn as well. Like, especially because all my provinces do something when they break,
oh
most of
yeah,
them, you know.
yeah.
So I'm just like, cool, you have to break these to win the game. Like, I don't really need to worry about them, babysit them, and
Well,
unless there's some like crucial juncture, But
if
when,
Crab actually got Keeper of Water or Keeper of Fire, then I would run like Upholding Authority. And then if they were Keeper of Fire, I'd run Feast or Famine. Like
oh yeah, yeah, for
like
sure.
on break provinces are fantastic. And God, I was having a conversation with Spectre, Steven, Didion, who won PAX Unplugged, and I was like, yeah, I mean like I would want Keeper of Fire because like Feast or Famine's broken. He was just like, yeah, but you have to let it break. And I was like, well, breaking provinces is part of the game. He was like, not in my game. Like I never let provinces break, and I couldn't help but feel like, God, that's like so crab. It's like ridiculous. That is like the most quintessential crab thing to say ever. But anyway, uh,
You're pretty crabby yourself, man. You're so crab that you literally have never changed your deck. You're like, I don't care if there are other cards in the game. I like these 40.
these 80 cards are making me happy, so I'm gonna
They're
play them.
super good.
So, anyway, just a little banter, us talking about how broken HMT is. And then I flipped the other Satoshi, and then Shuichi and a Vanguard Warrior.
Well,
And
I
he,
guess
he flipped a bunch of other he just flipped a bunch more little things. Which okay, so here's the card. Aggressive Moto. That's a bad
awful.
card, right?
Yeah, awful. Like, don't put it in your decks, guys. I don't care what justification you're coming up with it. Just don't do it.
Like
Like,
when
you
I
have
saw
40.
that,
There are
yeah.
better choices that you can make than aggressive moto. It's fucking dog shit.
And then
Like, it's
here,
an
yeah.
awful card.
Here I was expecting to pass. Like I was like he's gonna pass here, right? So I was gonna buy these two Satoshis, but then it's like, oh shit, he's not going to pass. I better I better pass. Like maybe that was too aggressive of a pass. I don't know. I could.
No way, no way. They're not going anywhere. Well, one of them isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, something's gonna break here. So he's got four fates. So I'm like, what could he have? Charge is low impact here, so it might just be what's on board, and then like Iuchi Wayfinders. Like that might be what I have to deal with in this round, which is okay with me. I don't think there's any issues with that.
Yeah, and really, you're not like shitting it over a Shinjo Outrider being charged, are you?
Not really. I mean, it'd be like annoying. It's just two more strength, and then they can move it out if they want to, and then use it for something else if they want to. Well, no, it's
I
just
had a
move
really,
in, right?
yeah, yeah. Well, he just moves in.
Ah, yeah, fucking just moves in.
I
Good old one-dimensional movement. Such a novel concept.
I love it, man. One-dimensional movement's where it's at. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna just commit one guy, but wait, there's another.
It works so well. So
I charged an Emir Mystic the other day. That was fun. It's actually better if you charge him because he only
I,
costs a
it was actually like back when I had charge, like in the core set days, I actually ran me a mystic and charged it in so that I had surprise
attachment control.
attachment
Yeah.
control. Like that was a thing that happened, and they got assassinated if you charge them in when it mattered. So it was like, wow, this is fucking nice. Obviously, that's not the case anymore. So I defend with these two because I don't. He's doing his military, so I'm like, well, if I defend with two, he's gonna have to play two cards to activate his stronghold. I'm a smart guy. I just short circuited his plan, right?
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you forgot that Shinjo Outrider can move into the comp.
Well, no, because then he needs two more. Like, I couldn't defend with one because you need more characters, right? That's a thing, right?
Yeah, yeah. You have to outnumber your opponent.
Yeah, you have to outnumber them. So two
Yeah.
to two is fine. So I was like, he'd have to move in the guy and then charge in the guy, and like, fuck if that's gonna happen, right? So I was just like, I'm good. This is good. We're doing good. I'm fine. This is good. So I activate me as Satoshi, just like setting up my next turn. Like maybe I can get like, some keeper initiates. So uh, I need them because I'm defending with two of my three guys. And I go 29 cards deep in my Dynasty deck, and there's still no Karada District. It's like, what the fuck is even going on right now?
Well, at least you know that it's in one of those last four cards. Just a casual 20 card discount there.
Yeah, super casual 20 card discard.
Hilariously, I think there's actually that the third keeper is also in the bottom four
Yeah,
cards.
I think I saw
And
that.
you just got one keeper. Great. Lost all of my cool characters, and I know that 50% of my last four cards are a keeper and Karada District.
Yeah.
So basically, that Shuichi is the only character you're going to be playing until you reshuffle your deck.
Yeah, I know. So here we go. He had Cavalry Reserves, which is irritating because he had Alton Sarnai. And Alton Sarnai is kind of surprising me right now, like how effective she is at doing things. I did not expect her to be like as effective at doing things as she has been in this game. I've always assumed that she's garbage, but she's probably gonna kill this Vanguard warrior. So he charges those two in. Just take a quick look. Oh yeah, there's all three of my iron mines. That's fantastic. There's a Kuni Labs. So he's currently winning, and he has more characters in the conflict than me. So he's currently being able to activate his whole thing. So I play a talisman. I'm like, yeah, and he has let go. I was like, there's like a 5% chance he does not have let go, and I can move him to shameful display and really salvage this conflict. Maybe it
Yeah,
was just like a dumb idea. Like in retrospect, that's probably just a dumb idea. But at the same time, like I need to start carving through these let goes. I can't just
yeah.
let him sit with two or three let goes in his hand. So I need to make him use them. And I
Oh
had.
man, sure, I get that. That's ballsy assassinating there.
Do you think
That is
so?
ballsy. Well, because you're gonna mill out. I guess maybe not for another turn,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
I got a couple turns before I mill out, but that what that does for me is it drops him to 4+, and then I can stronghold to stop the break.
right.
Um,
I get you.
so it's kind of like forcing him. Not only am I forcing him to actually play cards, but I'm also like like now he can't activate his stronghold.
Right, yeah, I
So
see.
by keeping
That
it two
makes
to two, he
sense.
can't activate his stronghold anymore. So I can
So they-
box, save the province, maintain the status quo, and then he fucking bonsais. And of course, I haven't seen my bonsais because that's totally fine. I'm sure he's running three, so it's not like surprising that he has one. I just kind of like, man, he's getting everything that he needs to break these provinces. I don't think I had anything, so I just played a mountain on Shuichi, as one does. Now, like, pause right here. I probably, realistically, I probably should have like reprieved this Vanguard warrior or something. But I didn't
yeah.
want to spend the last fate I had. Like I didn't. I am very like I have two spyglasses. I have not played them yet because I've been keeping a board state over keeping fate. So I'm kind of like running low on fate at all times, and I want to keep using like mountains and things like that. And I did spend a fate on that talisman. So I didn't want to spend my final fate on like a reprieve. I could have rebuilt Iron Mine, but it would have gone over Imperial Palace, which would not have
Yeah.
been great. So uh, does the card get discarded before Alton Sarnai's ability? Because I guess I could have rebuilt the Iron Mine here and then saved it that way, right?
I didn't like. I actually can't even remember what she does. It's just like you break a province military, and then your opponent chooses a character. Or so. I know it's some sort of card kill.
After you break a province during a military conflict in which this character is participating, your opponent choose the character he controls to start that character.
I remember it being.
Um, yeah. So
But
so
actually, yeah, some small boards. It's not so bad, I guess.
yeah. So I could have rebuilt an Iron Mine over the Satoshi, and then I could have just saved the Vanguard Warrior, but I didn't do that. So, and I guess it's like the same net effect, right? Because losing the Vanguard Warrior basically means Satoshi needs a save anyway.
Mm.
So
And look, yeah, he voids off the last fate on Satoshi.
yeah,
So yeah, yeah, you either play the reprieve on the Vanguard Warrior or you play it on Satoshi. It doesn't really make any
yeah.
difference,
Either way,
right?
I'm saving Satoshi at the end of the
It's
day.
probably like you saw he was running Assassinate, so it is actually probably correct to just let the Vanguard Warrior die there.
Yeah, I
You
think
know,
so. I think so. So I play a Haruma Skirmisher, and I just want to chump this air ring. Um, just make him defend with his 2/3 character. And I ran
bad. No
into
one's
what is
coming.
that? Border Fortress. Border Fortress is like a surprisingly irritating province.
But the
Like,
Fortress is great. I love
and granted, it's because I run Rally to the Cause under my stronghold. Like, if I ran Ancestral Lands or Entrenched Position under my stronghold, I would not care at all about Border Fortress. Border Fortress really is just like a meta call towards Rally to the Cause under stronghold, and it just makes me want to get a better water province.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Like it actually has three uses. Border Fortress. Like saying it's a medical is kind of not doing it justice. Like it on paper, it just looks really underwhelming, and then you play with it, and you're like, actually, this is fucking cool. Either I can start looking at my opponent's row, some matchups that's not viable because there are like risks there, like restoration of balance in Dragon, for example. But
Yeah.
most of the time, that's totally fine. It's also a great little trick if you have provinces with effects that go off when revealed. So, in a pinch, there aren't loads of those at the minute,
You
but I'm
mean like
sure
you
you can
can use
imagine.
your own route of the cause if you're like,
Yeah, you
I
can use
really need
that.
a reverse captive audience here or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, or whatever. And then, of course, you have your just flipping the opponent's strongholds, and a lot of the time, just because there's not a better alternative, that is rally to the cause. But that's just mainly to get information. I mean, it's pretty safe to assume people are running rally, but
Yeah.
you know, revealing someone's stronghold is never bad. So, like, cool, right? Well, I
Well,
know what
no,
will wait to me at the
yeah.
end.
Now I know what's going on here.
Yeah, yeah.
So he wins this water conflict, but I don't really care because he's just gonna stand Alton Sarnai, and then I'm gonna stealth over Alton Sarnai. So the winning the water ring didn't really matter to me. It was all about preventing the break, and I did
Yeah.
that. So now I'm just gonna do an earth ring and stealth Alton Sarnai. Um, I guess I could have done a fire ring and like neutered this little thing here, uh, but I don't know. I didn't do
I
it.
don't know. I think like you're getting like a card, a discard, and two keepers that has inherently more value than just an honored or a dishonored effect.
Yeah, that's how
Even
I
with
felt.
even with Shuichi and Satoshi, those keepers are just like there you go.
Yeah.
Now
So
you can always feel the game swing when those come out, can't you?
yeah,
Especially against
and then
like
he had to let go, but I had a reprieve for an Iron Mine. So I had to give up the Imperial Palace, but I didn't really care because I was already winning the favor anyway because I have two fucking keepers. So I take it in military because it's unicorn and all they fucking do is military.
cool.
So I'm down 3 breaks to 0. Uh, Equal honor, equal fate. I have two more cards than him, but my board is like vastly superior to his. Right? So I don't know. Like, would you consider this a bad board state or a good board state for the unicorn player?
I feel like that's a loaded question. He's got like one pretty mediocre bio. How would you feel if you were him, Joe? Why don't
Well,
you tell us how that would feel for you?
my opponent has
What's
all
the
three of
crab
their
equivalent?
provinces broken. I would think that that is a pretty dire situation, right?
Yeah, yeah, but then you have to be like, well, I'm at 7 honor. I've got 6 cards in my hand. My opponent has more cards in his hand. I've used all my let goes. Uh, some of those attachments, maybe it's just because I played a lot of crab, so I know what's going on. Some of those attachments are going to be like horrible shit I haven't seen, like talismans and spyglasses and watch commanders.
Yeah.
And I've got no fate to buy a board with, so I'm not really sure what my angle. Like, I don't know. By this point, if I were him, I would want to be going into this turn with at least 5 fate, at the very least, if not more.
Yeah.
Like if you have 2 straight turns of low cost buys, which is entirely possible if you build your deck correctly, you could be going into turn 3 of like 10 fate. You know,
Yeah.
like
Well, and
it's
and
it's
you
perfectly
know,
doable.
he decided to go with like one-time uses. Like he was basically treating his characters like instants. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like in Magic, like you use them, you pay for them, you use them, and then they go away. Because he was not putting fate on things. He was charging Alton Sarnai. He cavalry reserved Alton Sarnai, and I'm actually like, and this is not faulting him at all. This is how Unicorn plays. Like this is how like every Unicorn I watch and play against plays. Like
but no, he obviously knows what he's doing. He's
yeah,
obviously like a player.
I mean he's gotten 3 breaks in 2 rounds. Like he knows what he's doing. So I'm not like faulting the way he's playing at all. And just noting that Unicorn right now seems to be doing this a lot, where they're sacrificing the long game. And then this is the first odd thing he does. He's playing Way of the Unicorn.
Yeah,
I don't know why. Like,
I don't like the card. I
what?
just don't like. I mean, like, there's a lot of like in Unicorn chat, which by the way is a pretty sweet Discord chat, guys. It's like, yeah, it's good vibes in Unicorn chat. They're just happy. They're just
Well,
happy to be there. You're like, yeah, cards.
they
You can
finally.
do
I mean,
shit.
they joined the game.
Yeah,
They were like Mantis and Shadowlands, where they're like, man, I really wish that I was in this game, and now they
like,
finally
woo.
are. So
Yeah. So Unicorn chat's hype. It's really cool. Everyone there's really nice. There's a lot of like I don't really get involved in like my I don't I'm pretty vocal anyway as I'm a like a pretty opinionated guy, but I try not to get like super opinionated in Unicorn chat because I'm kind of like a guest there, right? I don't, these you got guys who've been playing Unicorn since day one, and it's just like fair play, dudes. Like I
Yeah.
don't know how you're still playing this game, but fair play. Uh, I don't really like spout off my opinions like to a super severe level there. But like I fucking think where the unicorn and like breakthrough and all that shit is just a complete
I have never
waste.
seen Breakthrough. I have not seen
Complete.
Breakthrough. But I have seen Way the Unicorn, and
Uh,
there was
so
a
you could put a good card in that slot, you know. You could
like
put a card in there that does something.
like the Birmingham Unicorn Kote, or
Yeah,
the Birmingham Kote Unicorn Hatamoto. He was talking about it on the Jade Throne podcast because Chris Podor, Frotop,
yeah.
he made a joke on there like, so I'm gonna talk about two cards now, and one of them's actually worth playing, and the other's
Oh yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah. I listened to that. Yeah, I
Yeah, and he
listened.
was like, Way the Unicorn and what?
Warrior Poet. What's the
Yeah,
other one?
Warrior Poet. And he was like, Warrior Poet. With boards getting so big now, there's a lot of people who are running weenie strategies. It could result in like -4 strength in a conflict, and that's a big deal. And the Way the Unicorn, I mean, going first with HMT is really fantastic because you can secure your second conflict, and then you can always be sure that you end the round with your final conflict anyway. So it's kind of like negating the downside of first player, while getting the benefit of farming fate and getting the first choice of rings and things like that. So he was like, "So which one of these is my lying about?" Like, Way the Unicorn. It's still complete garbage.
It's not great.
And the Unicorn Hatamoto from Birmingham took issue with that. So.
So, like when it
and
comes to unicorn
and
animators,
he started his message with, as the unicorn Hatamoto, as the European unicorn Hatamoto, I
oh,
play
that's
Way
not
the
fair.
Unicorn, and I was just like, damn. So this
That's not
guy,
fair. That's not fair, Joe. Idlena is a European unicorn Hatamoto, and coincidentally, so and I actually listen to the opinions of quite closely. I very much respect Lenath's opinions.
Lena,
Um, yeah, but he's not running away with the unicorn. I'll say that.
yeah,
Anyway, on with the show, my dear friend. On with the
on the
show.
show, yeah. So he
Look
plays
at
Way
us
the
nattering
Unicorn.
like old wives.
I think his goal was like, I'm gonna buy light and just like try and run him over. I think that's probably why he played the Way the Unicorn. And
I'm
then
gonna
he
try and run this massive board.
and then he flipped nothing but 3 and 4 costas.
That's
Which
unlucky
is
there.
just unfortunate. Like he's gotten so many little costers, and now he got this. So I just bought Kudaka, got her to 2 fake because I had a dupe, and then I bid 1. He bid 5. So this was the point at which like I feel like the game truly turned because. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna survive this round, and I might survive next round, but it's like I need to start actually doing something in the game. You know what I mean? Like that was where my head was at. Like I am sitting here with 3 broken provinces, a good board, admittedly a good board, but 3 broken provinces. He has none broken, and I just have to like sit here and do nothing. So I bid 1. I was expecting to bid 1 because dishonor was like the primary way he was gonna lose this game, but he just bid 5, and that's what we were talking about at the beginning of this game. Is like people just bid 5 forever. He had 7 honor, and he felt comfortable bidding 5. That's just bewildering to me. And then, I had a hand size of 8. He had a hand size of 6. So I bid 1, he bids 5. We have basically the same size hand. And now he's down to 3 honor left. Like, I don't want to tell my opponents to bid 1 sooner because I kind of want them to keep bidding 5, but they should really start bidding 1 sooner, right?
I don't know. Like it just depends on the matchup. Like it's such a matchup specific thing. I mean, there are so many like matchups in the game where all you do is bid 5 endlessly. Like versus Crane, if you're bidding 5, they're going to be bidding 5. Same with Dragon, really. Scorpion until they're ready to kill you, but you can generally get a feel for that when you
Yeah.
play that matchup enough. And Crab are only going to bid 5 once or twice, and then they're going to drop. That's how Crab play and win the game, right?
Yeah. And maybe that's a familiarity thing. Maybe he's not used to playing against a lot of crabs. I don't know, but I feel like my bid was relatively forecasted in that situation, and he still fell right into it, and he kind of opened the door for me. So let's see where it goes. Also, by the way, two cards face down, one card in my dynasty deck, still no fucking Karada. It's like ridiculous.
Oh man. It's kind of good though, right? It makes the game a bit more interesting rather than like the I win card.
Did I put? Yeah, okay. He's just sitting on his actions right now. Okay.
Thinking here,
Yeah,
he's
so
playing
he
out all
he
his
plays an
restrictions.
invocation for free and he played a talisman for free. And then I mentioned that Karada is one of the three cards that are not face up or in my discard pile. He said, I just checked your discard pile. You must have been reading my mind.
That's funny.
So, um, let's see here. What are we doing? Still waiting on
Seems
him.
like a good
Okay.
guy.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun to play, a lot of fun to talk to. Um, doing fire. He's doing fire. He obviously wanted the fate, and I'm just like, I'm fucking defending. Like I'll just defend with everything. Because why would I not defend with everything? And then I just play a watch commander. So he has three honor. He basically can't play any cards because unless he's breaking, if he goes to two honor and I just like do like an air conflict, I could win the game.
No.
I tell him like, you can still play the Cav Reserve as a charge, whatever you want to cheat guys in with.
And I'd be tempted. I mean, if I were him and I had charge and cavalry reserves, I would play both of them.
Right
And
now you would.
yeah, well, I'd have to, wouldn't I? Because if I don't, if he doesn't win on this conflict, he's lost the game, right?
Yeah.
So there he goes. He's going for it.
Yeah. His board is still. Oh, and by the way, our pictures are covering my hand. I don't think it really matters though.
Makes it more surprising.
Yeah.
What do you want to see, Joe's hand or our beautiful faces?
I know. I know. And so, oh yeah, here we go. So
He
I was just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna activate Satoshi. And Karada was the 40th card on my deck. By
Brilliant.
some stretch of luck, it was not one of these two face down cards, which I cannot interact with. It was.
That's actually perfect. That's perfect.
It was literally the final card on my deck. So that was really nice to find out. Because I was just
So-
like, fuck
oh
it,
my
why not? I just see what I can get.
I, that's crazy that he played the talisman out on Shahai without needing to.
I know. I saw that and I was like, yeah, I'll take the talisman.
Oh man, and there, right there, all goes up in flames.
I
That is.
know.
It was. Did you have anything else? I feel like that conflict breaks if you don't have talisman. Oh no, you've got.
No,
You've
I
got
could have taken the
box.
invocation. So like, without Karada, I'm probably in trouble. Let's see. Without Karada, I'm in relatively deep trouble.
Yeah, if you don't steal the talisman, well, no. Let's assume that you steal Ash.
So if I steal Ash, it would be 16 to 15 right now.
Right. Okay.
So once I flip Karada, I knew I was going to win this
Right.
conflict.
Karada wins the game then,
Yeah.
basically. Right. Okay. Well, that's completely to be expected. So it doesn't
That's-
really matter what he does and doesn't play out there.
That's Karada, right? So so I'm winning. I'm not winning, but I am preventing the break. And then I just decide to use it because ordinarily, I would save the talisman for like the worst case scenario. Like I would only use talisman if I'm losing and letting the break occur, right? But this is a special circumstance because if he wins, he can actually ready like some character. I don't know what character, but it has to be cavalry, right? Because he has Shiatomi encampment.
He could have a seal. He could have favored mount. So he could just stick that on what's her
Shahai.
name, Shahai, yeah, and
And
then
then
Cobra
ready her.
the
So
last
like
guy.
ordinarily, I was like, I did the math. I was like, okay, um, if I do shameful display and I dishonor like that thing and honor this guy, I'll go up to 18 or 16 to 15, and I'll win the conflict. And he really can't play any more cards because he's at 2 honor, and he wouldn't even be breaking a relevant card anyway.
His
So
only his only play here is to charge Nergu and then send Suichi home.
yeah, but then he's at one honor, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can just force through an air conflict. So like I did this because it denied Shiatomi and Kamen. That's why I did this. I know it might look weird to try and win a conflict when he's not breaking, especially something as insignificant as a fire ring. But he's a damn all that effort for nothing.
That's rough,
I
man.
know,
That's
man.
super rough. And then yeah, that's game. You just swing back for air
So
and good luck.
I couldn't do air yet because he still has this little thing here. Uh, I was thinking about doing air, but he could just move this in and then defend
But
it.
it doesn't matter because it leaves play at the end of the round, right?
Yeah, but
I guess
he
you
could
do
like
water.
court games it or something like that. So
Sure, sure. You
so
do water to stand someone, and then you do air.
yeah.
All right. Well, it's game now anyway. One unopposed conflict, and it's game.
So I
It's not all
ready
right.
I ready Shuichi, and then also like if he had a conflict character as well, something like that. So uh, he ends up. What's he do here? He plays a Wayfinder. So he plays a Wayfinder because he wants to force Shuichi to defend. That's what he's doing. And he does an air conflict. So I just defend, and I think that was like a. It's hard to say like really. I can't really say he made any mistakes this round. I feel like that's an unfair thing to say. Other than the bid five, I do think the bid five was a mistake because I forecasted it pretty poor, like pretty ridiculously. But
He could
he
have bid like three, I guess.
yeah,
You know,
I think if he did that, then the game is completely different. I still think that I'm in the lead because
depends what's in his
I
hand, though.
yeah, but like I think Karada is just such a game warping card, and allowing me to grab that talisman is just so insane.
Yeah,
But like I said,
and with
grabbing
Riri,
invocation would have done a very similar thing. So just
with
having Karada District in general. So
once you
then
have Karada, you're gonna have it forever, right? Because of rebuild. So it's like, well,
yeah. So then I
yeah.
use a Gaijin Customs to ready Shuichi because that's a nice card. And then I just do a Void Ring because you know Void's pretty.
Fuck it.
Void is a good card. Void is good, and it fucking gets rid of his entire board. So this is what I was saying is like he really did uh, just play so all out for the cavalry reserves and things like that, and he ends up at two honor because he had an honored and a dishonored character leaving play, and it was because of those outriders. Like they kept like coming in and stopping the unopposed, which is really nice for him.
Hmm, that is good.
So he was able to do that. And by the way, at the end of that round, I was trying to decide like I could play a reprieve and keep Satoshi, or I could play the Gaijin Customs and get that Void Ring and remove Shahai, or what's her name? Yeah, Shahai, right?
Yeah, Shahai.
So I basically gave up Satoshi to remove Shahai, and I think considering she had an Invocation of Ash on her, it was probably the right call.
I mean, you could just steal the invocation next turn. It's like you save Satoshi, you steal the invocation. It probably makes like fuck all difference. And she does have covert though, so there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, Covert is super annoying. And by the way, by that 1 to 5 bid that we did, uh, I was able to go to 11 honor, and now me reshuffling my deck really doesn't do anything. Like before, I was at 7 honor. That reshuffling my deck would have actually caused me to be concerned. Like right now, I would have been sitting at like 2 honor if he had bid 1 with me, and he would have been at like whatever 6 honor. He would not have been in honor pressure, and his board is resetting over and over again. But still, you know what I mean? Like it was still
If he just played that last turn defensively instead of going for your stronghold, he goes into this turn with his hopefully his hand relatively intact. You know, he's
yeah,
just got a really decent flop, and your board's gotten smaller
yeah, to a degree.
to a degree.
It's
That
still
second,
nice and healthy.
I don't know. It's hard to say, isn't it? You can speculate all day, but at the end of the day, Really does depend what's in his hand,
Yeah.
what he's feeling, what calls he's making.
So at this point, like I was like, okay, I've won this game. Like all I have to do is just force an air ring or force some unopposed or whatever, and the game's over. So
He
I
bid
decided like he bid two. Yeah, he bid two. And I was telling him like, I don't like, what do you say? Bold. I said bold, and he's like, yeah. The way I see it, if I don't win on this turn, or rather win out, I can't win based on board state. So that was his logic. Uh, and so I had these spy glasses, and they've been in my hand basically the entire game, and I just have not had the fate to use it because I've been using all my fate to basically repel him and make
Hmm.
value plays to keep my board state alive. Uh, and so I play all three spy glasses on Kudaka, and then I just steal his spy glass just to be like, just to like
Mate,
BM
there's
my
one thing,
opponent to end the
one thing
game.
you can say about Kudaka is she knows exactly what's coming.
She's like, I
Oh
see
man.
the world, and then he conceded. So that was the game. So the reason I wanted you on and the reason that I wanted to talk about this game was because, like I said, the game is getting faster. And how does Crab adjust to the game getting faster? A lot of people are running lower builds and abandoning. Like I've seen decks that like aren't even running Iron Mine. Like they're running Charge instead to try and keep up with the pace of the game. And Charge is a good card. Like I'm not disparaging Charge at all, but um, like I said before, if you want to play aggro, you really shouldn't be playing Crab. Crab is a very much a sit here and outlast you deck, and it's evident that I outlasted my opponent in this game. Like, even if he did bid five, even if he did bid one when I bid one, my board state was never going to actually allow him to win a conflict, and uh, I was going to be able to eventually. I broke two provinces in that turn. I would have basically just walked over another one with Kudaka because she's like, let's see here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She's 9 political, and she's gonna draw me 4 cards.
No, Joe, she's gonna draw you 8 cards. Favorable ground on your row.
Yeah,
That is
favorable
100%
ground her
certainty.
in. So yeah, she was gonna draw me 8 cards. So there was really like, you know, I don't think he made any mistakes, and that's why I wanted to bring you on. I wanted to know, in your opinion, did he make any significant mistakes that would have lent him to punting a game that he should have won?
I don't know. I can't say all I can say is my way of approaching playing Unicorn is not the same as his. Or I don't know. Like based on that one game, I can't really like call out his entire play style because I don't fucking
No
know
one.
the man. Yeah. But I don't know. I wouldn't play that game like that. I definitely would be all in on the buying cheap guys
Hmm.
train, but I like a lot of the time I buy like one guy and pass. I just want to deny my opponent as much fate as possible. I want to get as much fate as possible. I run shit like I'm not going to say exactly what I run, but I run a lot of conflict characters. Like a
You still
fucking
got that.
shit.
That one opponent might happen to be listening to this
Yeah, yeah,
video.
yeah. If you want to know what I run, you can watch my deck tech that's going to come out in a week. I'm sure. There you are. What's it called? I'm plugging myself, Joe.
Yeah, you're
I'm,
plugging
pl-
yourself.
I'm plugging myself right into your channel.
I can put your link in the description.
Great. Yeah. So I run a shitload of conflict characters. I don't like the first 2 turns. I just want to like flip over provinces and like hoard fate and draw cards. And if I can like get an easy break or like take an opportunistic one, great. One thing I definitely want to do every single turn though is trigger my stronghold. So I don't mind if I get a break or not, but I want to be triggering that stronghold.
That's the nice thing about Unicorn Stronghold is that you don't need to break to trigger it. Like even just
Now,
a unopposed military conflict
do you know,
triggers.
like having to deal with 3 conflicts every round just takes its toll after a while. It doesn't matter. Not every single one of these needs to be a go for the throat, smash the fuck out of it thing. Just oh my god, if I don't block another conflict, I'm gonna lose a fate off a guy, or I'm gonna
Yeah.
lose a fucking card. It's really annoying, basically,
Oh,
and
it's yeah,
you
it's
get an
like the better version
extra
of Lion
50%.
Stronghold, right?
Yeah, it's super easy to trigger.
Yeah.
Super easy to trigger. And like they've got to think, oh shit, do I want to invest everything into stopping it? Because it can be quite costly to stop it.
Yeah.
And Unicorn have access to like a million military buffs. Especially if you're on like Lion Splash,
Yeah.
or if you're running like just katanas or whatever. Like there's a million ways to pump military, and all you need to do is win a military conflict with one more guy, which is
Yeah.
super easy to do, especially if you're running like loads of low drop characters and conflict characters. So yeah, I just try and play quite conservatively, trigger my stronghold as much as possible, but then I don't really try and go for breaks until I'm like, right, I've got 15 cards, I've got a bunch of fate, and I can now like bang out three provinces in a row and win the game, or I can bang out two provinces, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's just like waiting till you get to that moment where like, now it's time to play all my cards.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's my theory. Like, I'm sure there's a million schools of thought, and it's like a really
But
like
but
uncharted territory right now, so it's fun to talk about.
and to your point, like you play Unicorn differently than a lot of people. Um, I feel like your style of Unicorn is not really the one that Crab players are complaining about because it's you play a little bit of the long game. Like you kind of play Unicorn with a Crab zest.
Crab mentality.
with,
Yeah.
with a,
You
you,
take the boy out the crab, but you can't take that crab out of the boy.
so that's not really what Crab players are complaining about in terms of Unicorn. They're complaining about they break two provinces in one turn and the three provinces in the first two turns, and how am I supposed to recover from that? And hopefully this video gave some idea of how I recover from that. Like how, like I gave up two breaks. I didn't tilt. I didn't actually even think that it was that big of a deal at the time. Uh, if he was gonna break shameful, like if he broke three on turn one, that's an issue. But just breaking two on turn one and the third one on the second turn, that's something that I feel like Crab is equipped to handle and they're equipped to deal with. So
I mean, as you always said, the only break that matters is the third, right?
yeah. It's funny because I wrote like the only breaks that matter in this game are the third and the final because the third opens your stronghold and the final obviously ends the game. And someone commented like, "Oh, that's a logical fallacy because by that logic, then the second province matters because it opens up the third, and the first province matters because it opens up the second." It's like, well, yeah, but you know, how far back are we going? Like I was just talking like immediately like you know when you immediately have to change the way you're playing. When provinces are no longer resources is after that third break. That is
Yeah.
like after the third break, that's when the provinces actually matter. So that was the point I was trying to make. Maybe I didn't do it very well. But like I wrote in the article like the only provinces that matter are the third break and the fourth break because the third break opens up the final break and the final break ends the game. Uh, yeah, obviously that guy didn't take that comment very well, but hopefully it makes sense to other people. It makes sense
Yeah.
to me. Like I don't know. Like I don't care about the first province that breaks. I don't even really care about the second province that breaks. It's that third one that I actually have to like. Can my opponent break my stronghold now? Like I have to actually think about that because when they break my second, I'm like, psh, I got another province. Like
I'm swimming in provinces.
I got provinces, man. There's
Mate,
nothing
I
but
got
provinces.
fucking lands for days, bro. What you gonna do?
Yeah, bruv. So, you know. Anyway, um, I
So
think
just so everyone's very clear, Joe is really keen on keeping that third province from not breaking. First two, do with what you like. Doesn't matter.
I mean,
Meaningless.
the third province sucks. Like when he broke the meditations, I was just like, I don't like this at all. This is not good. That's why I played Talisman because I was like, I want to prevent this third break. Like that'd be ideal if I could prevent this third break. So I played a Talisman even though I kind of knew he had to let go. Like I kind of knew, and I was like, maybe he'll save it for reprieves. Maybe I can get away with this. But no, he let it go. But anyway, um, yeah, I think that's like it. basically.
Cool. Well, it was a
Yeah.
fun game to watch and to talk over. And I know, like, I got this really awful tendency to come across really scathing when I'm like analyzing stuff, but it's not meant to be that way.
You
I
scathing?
respect.
Nah, you got that British accent. You're charming. Everything you say, everything you say is dripping with charm. Like there's nothing
Tell
you
that
could.
to my defeated foes. They say that.
So, yeah. Can't think of anything else to say at this point.
I should probably end it then, bro. No point
Yeah,
dragging it out, eh?
yeah. So, if you liked the video, why don't you comment or some shit like that and like it
I
and
can subscribe.
like and subscribe and I'll post Dan's YouTube channel in the description if he ever fucking does anything ever again.
Yeah, I know. It's like 3 months since I posted a video. It's coming, guys. It's coming. Actually, I did post like this weird video that I'm not going to go into, but it's like pretty funny. I
Yeah.
thought it was funny.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys around in the next video.
Peace out.